morning. Morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good, I hope. Oh, same, Anya, same. Yes, Susan, I haven't had a chance to open it yet because we've been dealing with a lot over here, but I did get the box. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to dig into it as soon as I have a free hand. At least I think I got it. Pretty sure it's in the pile of stuff. I have a pile of boxes to open, and I believe it is among them. Oh, that's not great, Anya. To get the items for shot. You know what, I did not have time yesterday. Yesterday was a really packed day for me with class and everything, but maybe tomorrow I'll get, today is even busier, but maybe tomorrow I'll get to do that. It would be nice. It would be nice. It might be nice. It might be nice. Washington on your side. How's everyone doing? Yeah, me too, Anya. Me too. Me too. You know what the craziest thing is? So, I went to my farm place today, and they cheered me up a little. That's amazing, Isabella. I love that. So right before this live, I opened my phone like you do, you know, to start the live, and a video that popped up. No, shh, shh, shh. CB time. CB time. CB time. CB time. You don't have to be awake. No. You were sleeping so good. What is this face about? You were sleeping. You were sleeping. Why are we all awake all of a sudden? Right before I opened the live, a video popped up like it does anytime you open the app, and it was a video of a mom wearing her very, very tiny baby, and asking if she was wearing them correctly. So good on her for asking. So this is not about the mom not asking, because she did. She asked if she was wearing them correctly. Unfortunately, it was very incorrectly, not just like, oh, maybe she could have a better M shape with her legs and whatever like that. Why am I talking if you're heading to sleep? That's a great question. Yeah, Jen had a good question there. It's like, if someone is like, am I wearing my baby correctly? And it's just like, oh, their seat's not quite deep enough. It's like, all right, you know, they're doing a good job, whatever like that. She was wearing her baby completely hidden in the carrier. Like, you couldn't even see that there was a baby there. That's how small the baby was for the carrier. But she asked, right? So good on her for asking. She didn't know, new mom, whatever. So I offered help, of course, like any of us would do. I said, hey, this isn't a safe carry. Thank you for asking. I would love to. And I even offered to like do like an Instagram FaceTime with her and correct it for her if she wanted. That was my comment, right? But I went to just browse the comments to see if she had already gotten some corrections just in case, right? And there were comments, this is not a joke, by people that were just like, I don't know, is the baby still breathing? You're not hurting them, seems fine. And it's like, you can't tell if the baby's breathing in there. Like, I think that's the thing people miss a lot, is like when a baby's that small, it can happen like that, right? So like, if the baby's airway is not visible, they might have been breathing 2 minutes ago and they might not be now. You know what I mean? And this mom had the good sense to ask for help. So don't brush off her need for help. Like, what are we talking about? She said, is this right? Please help me. So let's not just be like, whatever. Let's help her. Come on. This was not unsolicited advice. This was requested advice. So let's give it and let's not be snarky. Anyway, that's all I have to say about today. It was crazy, I know. I was really disheartened to see that. Yeah, give an accurate, safe explanation, or like, you know, like I said, I offered, yeah, you can go to sleep information, but I also told her if she wanted to do like a live fit check, I would help her in a private Instagram discussion, you know what I mean? So, I know they feel like they have to comment on everything. Like, if you don't have something valuable to add to the conversation, don't comment. Unless it's a joke, of course. Why do people feel like they have to? Yes, I want to know that. Yeah, I hope she takes me up on it. I basically said, like, I'll help you. Like, if you want to, like, Instagram, you know, that, like, there's a FaceTime thing on Instagram that you can do. Like, I wouldn't give a stranger my phone number, but I'll give them my Instagram, you know, and I'll FaceTime Instagram with her and I'll help her fix it. Anyway, that was my morning thing right before this. All right. Here we go. Oh, I forgot to take that out, Brittany. That was from me. It was crazy, right? If you would have seen it, you would have cried. Oh, Ray, the Med-Eye came yesterday. I haven't had a chance to try it on because we got it at the mail late yesterday evening, so I haven't had a chance to try it on yet, but I'm very excited to try it today. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I know. She's like, good morning. If you guys could see her, like, what I wish is that you could see the expressions she makes. It looks extremely squishy. It looks like a waffle knit. You know those Love Held waffle knits? It looks like that. I don't know if it is one of those, but that's what it looks like. The expressions she makes, she's like the Gerber baby. Like, it's ridiculous, this face. Oh, shit. Don't break the beloved tripod. We already lost one tripod. Can't lose another. Okay, how do you feel about taking a nap? It would be so good for your little brain if you would just take a nap. I think I lowered this to do something yesterday, and now we need to raise it again. There we go. Hey, little nugget. How do you feel about a nap? You were doing so nappy. Yeah. It is a waffle wrap. Oh, okay, so that's what it looked like. Yeah, I can't wait to try it on. It looks really comfy. Really comfy. Okay, mommy's gonna take a sip of this. Ray, I don't know if I described this correctly, but I want to tell you before I start. So on Sunday, we were having a really difficult morning getting a nap, and you know, usually we have our normal schedule. We come on here, she either naps or doesn't in the ring sling, yada yada. But because we don't have book club on Sundays, usually she just kind of like, I get her out of the crib, I feed her, and then I let her sleep on me while I read, you know what I mean? Just like lay on my chest and I read in bed, which is is just normal. I don't put her in the wrap. Well, you always hide her face until she's old enough to make a decision for herself. You know, older teenager can make a decision for herself. So anyway, she was having trouble getting to sleep, and so I was trying to let my husband sleep because he works so late, you know what I mean? And so I went and I grabbed what we call our comfort wrap, which is the first wrap that we got from Ray, right? It's the blue and gray one that you guys have seen probably 100 times. And originally Ray actually sent it to be for my husband, but it became my favorite thing. And it's funny because she was like, well, I know this isn't your color, but like, it's so nice. It's so nice, right? She also sent the pink one, and the pink one's great for a lot of things, but it's a short wrap, so it's not as good for like really like secure nap wrap kind of situation for me, because I'm not that pro yet, right? So anyway, on Sunday, she was just fighting these naps really, really hard. And so finally I just got the comfort wrap. I wrapped her up in it. She finally falls asleep. It's great. Okay, we're good. My mom comes over to visit her, and my mom sees that wrap in person for the first time, and she was like, that is so nice. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I told her all about the story of how I got it, how it was Ray's. Ray's bonus daughter doesn't want to wrap her kids, so Ray wanted to pass it on to someone she knew would use it. I told my mom the whole story, right? And I said she knew that I'm like, you know, just semi-crunchy mom enough to get really into this, and so she started me on this journey. And she was like, so you mean the moms pass them around? And I was like, sometimes, yeah, why? And she was like, you can't pass that on. You can't. And I was like, well, and she was like, it's too nice. You have to save it. I was like, no, we're gonna save it. It's really nice. And she was like, what if she wants to have children one day? You have to give her that wrap. I was like, okay, Mom, we will. Don't worry. So, lest you think it's only us who think it's the nicest thing we have, she was like, you have to keep that one. I was like, we will. We'll keep that one. Yeah, it's a perma. It's a firma. And it already was. Listen, it already was. I wasn't going to get rid of it anyway. But you know, like I have some wraps, like there's one wrap that I'm passing on to my sister-in-law to try with her baby. And I think that that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Because I have enough that I can share. Not that one. Not that one. So, anyway, that's funny. So let's get our glasses and begin our reading with this tiny human who has decided sleep is not for her. And she also has decided sleep is not for me. Right? How many times were we up last night, my sweet angel? So many times. Can I post the idea of the traveling set? Yeah, it's your idea. You can do whatever you want with it, Roxy. Absolutely. It sounds like a great idea. It's just not something I have the time to manage, but you should feel free to go for it. I think it's a genius idea. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. All right. So today is part 3, the poster. Here we go. Chapter 19. I have failed. The arena has been damaged but not incapacitated, and the games continue. In District 12, we learn about mountains, but predominantly the ones that cover the seam of the coal that will provide our livelihood. Yeah, my husband says the same thing. It's very funny, Liz. But I'm trying to make sure that my eyes don't get worse, and maybe these headaches will go away if I start wearing these glasses more. Volcanoes barely get a mention. I know just enough to connect the name to the dazzling bursts of lava, the glowing streams, and the cloud of ash flowing down the mountainside, enveloping everything in its path. I picture the tributes, Welly, Hull, Maisily, all gasping for air, suffocating, and I drop the binoculars. I can't see them, but I can see enough to imagine their terrifying ends. A blast of air hits my face, thick with stinging grit and a scent so cloying that I begin to gag. I lose my footing for a moment and I scramble for purchase. If the tree branches below didn't catch me, I'd be dead against the forest floor. I squinch up my eyes against the howling toxic wind, and when I pull the collar of my billowy shirt up over my face, it provides a pocket of protection from the swirling particles. As I've learned at the gas plant berm, when my shirt front refused to ignite, and again when Amber experimented with his sock in the campfire, our clothes are to provide a shield. This volcano is why. It has to be why. I doubt that our outfits are much help to those caught on the mountain. Excuse me. Excuse me. Am I it then? The last tribute left alive? The victor of the quarter quell? Even the game makers are firing cannons, so there's no way that I could hear them between the... even if the game makers... You okay there, buddy? She answered. Okay, then we're good. Even if the game makers are firing cannons, there's no way that I could hear them between the after effects of the explosion and the roar of the wind. From what Ampert said, everybody else was over on the mountain. Perhaps if they bedded down near the base, they could have fled to safety. I don't know though. They might outrun the lava, but they wouldn't outrun that cloud. It isn't a real volcano, but how close did the game makers come to try replicating one? Could the lava set everything on fire? What if that ginormous water tank was built so that they could quench the aftermath of this volcano? In bombing the tank, I might have destroyed any hope for those who survived the eruption. I'm too exposed up in this tree. As soon as I'm able, I shimmy down and collapse on the pine needles, using the trunk to block the wind. I retreat inside my shirt, and there's nothing to see anyway with the clouds erasing the moonlight. Besides, even if I could see, what would I do? Where would I go? If the fire comes, it comes. You really want to chew on your rings? That's just a choice. Do you want a chewy? Would you consider a pacifier? This is a rarity for you, but would you consider it? What do you think? Do you want it? No. Okay. She spit it out immediately. I always try. I always just try. You want to try one more time? I mean, you're trying to suck on the rings. You can suck on this. What do you think? Do you think it will help you sleep? She said, absolutely not. Absolutely not, Mother. I have no interest in that thing. All right, let's get a chewy. Okay. Okay. Yeah, she does not want a pacifier, but she does want to see you. Okay. The full force of my failure hits me. Who do I think I am? Why did I think I could change anything? That I could take on the capital with all its might and bring the Hunger Games to a standstill? Me, a 16-year-old kid from the trashiest district in Panem, with little schooling and no outstanding skills. I've got nothing but a big mouth and an inflated sense of my own self-importance. All foam, no beer. That's me. Near beer. Yeah, that's what I figured, Liz. It's saving me from having to wean her off of it later. But every once in a while, I'm like, just maybe. Plutarch's words echo through my head, mocking me. No more implicit submission for you, Hamish Abernathy. Blow that water tank sky high. The entire country needs you to. Well, bad call, Plutarch. Turns out I was built for implicit submission, head to toe, through and through, inside and out. I grind my palms into my face. What an idiot I am. What a stuck-up, self-centered, incompetent idiot I am. I don't even know if Plutarch was on the rebel side. It's not even like he's just another capital monster who's probably laughing his head off right now. Hi. Do you think you might want a nap? You can lay your head down. You can lay your head down. You can take a nap. You can lay your head down. You can take a nap. Nap, 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 nap. She didn't like my song. I have been doing that too, Ray. Am I going to regret it? That's what we do constantly. Oops. Oops. All right. But no, that doesn't make any sense, because even if the games continued, his advice did help me throw a wrench in the works. The capital's gorgeous arena has gone haywire. It isn't enough, though, just a minor disruption with no real consequences. Nothing that I've done here is enough. Ambert's lopsided grin in the torchlight, surely his last smile, and how he trusted me. And now there's not even a body to return to Beatty, although at this point, Beatty could be dead too. All the failures for Hamish and Beatty in this game were success. That's right. That's right. Yeah. And I'm fine that I'm crying now, or maybe it's just my eyes trying to wash out the last bits of ash, but scratches from the bat claws burn like all fire and ooze blood into my clothes, which are no star in absorbency department. Tear-soaked, blood-soaked, misery-soaked, I lay on my side and curl myself around the base of the tree trunk. Oh, Lenore Dove, how did it come to this? In the moaning wind conjures up the cabin by the lakes last winter. It was her birthday, the best gift ever. Me singing her song, which now I'm beginning to hate. Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December. Okay. You gotta let me do this because these are really important moments in the story, so you gotta just be quiet for the poem, okay? Okay? Alright. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my boots secrete a sorrow, sorrow of the lost Lenore. And for the rare and radiant maiden from whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. Your black knobs on your cabinets behind you I thought were specs on the phone. Oh, yeah, no, those are knobs. That's funny. No, they're here. Yes, they are knobs. We had to get this because our apartment didn't come with very much cabinet space, and so we got this to make a pantry. It's like a fake pantry. Nameless here in this world, dead and gone as I'm about to be, will I be her lost loved one forevermore? Will she be haunted by me for the rest of her life? Just let me go, I cry out, and I'm furious at myself for not telling her to move on after my death when I had the chance. I pound my head into the tree bark until blood runs, and then I go limp as I await my end. All yours, President Snow, I think. Sleep? No, I don't sleep, but I'm so exhausted by the night's exertions that the crushing weight of my despair, I achieve some sort of stupor. Hours and hours pass, I guess because of the wind quieting the ash is settling. Lenore Dove said there's no guarantee the sun will rise. I wish today proved her right. Nothing good awaits me. I'd rather hide in the dark, but eventually a faint daylight shows through my shirt, and I don't want to come out, so I don't. Why am I even still alive? What a cruel joke the game makers are playing on me. The humming I noticed last night still radiates from the ground, and I remember it directly preceded the return of the fake sky, and I put two and two together. It must be coming from the generator that BD mentioned, just one outside the arena. She wants to read the book to you. Oh, thank you. Where was I? At the top, despite whatever disruption the flooding caused to the energy supply, the generator is keeping the arena running. Well, the energy supply was never our target anyway. The brain was. Though it was damaged, enough of it is still functioning to entertain the audience. Oh, shut up. Who cares now, I tell myself, and I'm sick of wallowing in my failure. Enough. It's all over. I try to go back into my stupor, but I'm too antsy. Scratching the back of my brain are words Mag spoke when we were about to begin our training. In the early games, I didn't ask the tributes what they wanted because the answer seemed obvious. You wanted to live. But then I realized there were many desires beyond that. Mine had to do with my district partner, protecting him. We wanted to die quickly, proud, and with a minimum of suffering for our loved ones. I wanted to outsmart the arena, but Mags had been concerned about her district partner. I don't know if Maisalie's still out there, but if she is, she might need me to help her die with her head held high. And maybe some other newcomers could use a hand in that as well. Multiple cannons must have fired after the volcano, but I didn't hear them with everything going on. I haven't been declared a victor, though, so someone else is still alive, and I won't have a clue as to who until nightfall. Instead of giving up, maybe I'll see if I can be of some tiny use to someone else. So I throw myself in front of an attacking career. I'll throw myself in front of an attacking career, or I'll bring a newcomer some food or water. I'm pretty hungry and thirsty myself, come to think of it. I can't afford to get weak. Might as well see if my supplies survived. Yeah. Instead of giving up, sorry, I just read that. I might as well see if my supplies survived. When I pull back my shirt, I'm once again shocked by the beauty around me. I'd imagine the ash to be gray and dingy, but in keeping with the arena's design, they've made it clear and sparkling so that everything seems to be coated in a layer of rock candy. Sunlight bounces off the crystals, throwing tiny rainbows around the forest, and I rise, stiff and sore, and knock the stuff from my clothes. It's Hamish. This is all from Hamish's perspective. I'm tempted to put a chunk of it to my parched lips, even though I'm pretty sure where that would land me. The ash disorients me, but after a while, I manage to crunch my way back to the butterfly bush berm. And who's talking now? Really? Tell me more about that. No, you don't want to tell me more about that? No? Okay. The berm is ajar, although the mouth has gone still. No more sparks shooting from the trees. No baby deer rampage around, but I do see a few dead ones under the ash. Damage was done for sure, probably throughout the arena. The game makers are going to have to be very careful where they point their cameras because everything looks frozen, like I should be shivering, but the air is warm and perfumed. I kick the ash from my backpack, retrieve my water, and take a deep drink, leaving about half of the jug. My remaining food consists of 2 potatoes, 2 rolls, 1 egg, 1 apple, and a final glass of grape juice. My belly hollows, so I smush the egg between my roll for a sandwich, and I wolf it down. I savor my last apple, and then I retrace my steps to the scene of Ampert's death. His skeleton has now been removed, but I find my hammock and I shake it out. When it's free of ash, I fold it neatly and return it to my pack. Yeah, you want to lay your head down? You could sleepy. Sleepy time. Wee, sleepy, sleepy. Now what? I consider going to find the survivors, and then I realize that I'm likely to run into careers as much as newcomers. I dig around with my feet, trying to locate the spear that I abandoned. Yeah? You're so tired, my angel. You should take a nap. You should. You should. Do you want to take a nap? Do you want to take a nap? Boop. 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 I dig around with my feet, trying to locate the spear that I abandoned, to no avail. Did the game makers take it with his body? I uncover my knife, however, and retrace my step to Ampert's axe. It takes a while before I can remember where I dropped it on the earth as it shook, and I was flung to the ground. I hunt it down and I slip it into my belt. I want to carry mementos of my allies with me. My fingers go to the sunflower at my neck, and I find its shellac coating has dissolved in the flood, leaving it firm but impressionable. The paint job holds up, so it looks as good as new. Too bad I don't have the blasting cap. Stuff isn't much good without it. It still needs another explosion to set it off. And what would I blow up anyway? We succeeded in messing up the brain, but it's either partially working or they've been able to run the arena from the capital. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Here, lay your head down. There you go. Very good. Yeah. Probably some of both. Anyway, no chance I could get to it. Shh, shh, shh. At this point, the game makers are also essential to continuing... Oh, honey. At this point, the generator is also essential to continuing the games. Can you just take a nap, honey? You want out? Okay, you want out? You want out? You seemed like you really wanted to nap. You really did. Yeah. You were so sleepy. You were so sleepy before. Ready? 1, 2, woo! Here you go. Here's your chewy. Take it. There you go. 2 hands. 2 hands on the chewy. Yeah. 2 hands hold it up. That's right. You need 2 hands. The way she's laying down, I moved her head. I know, right? She's ridiculous. You're crazy, kiddo. At this point, the generator is also essential to the continuing of the games, but only in the only way to reach it would be to break out of this place. A tiny ray of hope penetrates the gloom of my mind. Wait, Perhaps it would be possible to escape the arena and try to break the generator. All I've got is a knife and an axe, but that's not nothing. Of course, it's an incredible long shot, but so am I. Maybe I'm just the guy for this job. And then doubt swamps me. You can't do that. It'll never work. You're just a loser with an axe trying to chop down the Capitol again. Have you really learned nothing? Maybe I haven't learned anything and there's no chance of success and I should double down on my implicit submission. But the truth is, what have I got to lose? Nothing, that's what, and I owe it to Ampert to try. What would Beatty do? For starters, he'd get me to the generator. He said it was at the top of the arena, so I must be close. The first thing will be to make my way all the way north and find something to break through the arena wall. I don't know if it's made of cement or metal or some kind of other force field, but I guess I'll deal with that when I get there. After consulting the sun, I get my bearings and I head north. My whole body is stiff and sore, and the straps of my backpack rub at the back scratches raw. I'd be quite a sight if District 12 had been dressed in yellow, but the black conceals the bloodstains fairly well. Even though I'm still starving and thirsty, I can't afford to lose any more of my meager supplies. If I find the generator, maybe I'll celebrate with a slice of potato. The woods have patches of life, songbirds singing and insects buzzing and sections of complete silence. I don't see any other signs of tributes, and it's quite likely that I'm the only one who's traveled this far north. That means that the mutt berms will be fully loaded, but they might also be disabled. Nothing to do but keep putting one foot in front of the other. Yeah. After a couple of miles, I hear the pattering of the trees and gentle rain begins to fall. I open my mouth and I catch a few drops of it on my tongue. It tastes clean, like the fresh water, not the poison. Where did the game makers find it in the tank blown wide open? Do they have a reserve tank? Pipes that reach this far from the Capitol? I placed the explosive chest high. Maybe the bottom foot or two of the tank remained intact and they're accessing that. Well, at any rate, I've got fresh water, and I better not take it for granted. Quickly, I unscrew the cap of my water jugs and I set them in a center of a clearing. I know it's not ideal catching stray drops, but it's the best that I can do at this moment. And then I strip down to my skivvies and I wash all the blood off. I notice the grit under my fingernails dissolving like sugar crystals and survey the trees. Sure enough, even the light shower melts the volcanic ash off the branches and the runoff soaks the ground. In half an hour, the rain stops, leaving the forest as fresh and pristine as the morning that I entered it. It's a relief to have the ash gone, but I can't have caught more than a couple tablespoons of water. A wasted opportunity. One of Wyatt's tarps would have come in real handy here. A mesh hammock isn't worth diddly for rain collection, but you work with what you've got. Yeah. What I get when I reach the end of the forest is not a brick or a steel or an electrified barrier, but it's a tall hedge that comes to a point like a V, and it stretches out as far as the eye can see in both directions. And on closer inspection, a plant appears to be some kind of holly, loaded with clusters of red berries, sporting prickly green leaves. It's not unlike what the people in District 12 use to decorate at New Year's, although these berries have little black dots on their skin. Even the regular ones are poisonous, so I ignore these, of course. I walk along the hedge, pondering how to approach it. The boughs don't look like they'd support my weight. Digging under the mulch at the base doesn't seem like an option either. And then I spy an opening, turn sideways, and I manage to slip through the foliage without getting scratched. A narrow pathway leads about 10 feet in and then curves further into the hedge, which appears to be quite deep. Cautiously, I begin to weave my way through the greenery on a twisty-turny path, feeling that I'm headed north, but sometimes forced to diverge left or right out of necessity. It can't go on forever, I think. Eventually, I'll reach the end of the arena. But I don't. The path winds this way and that, sometimes reaching a dead end or coming to a fork, which requires me to make a choice. And too late, I realize that I should have been notching trunks or some piles of mulch or something to make a path because I'm hopelessly lost. I try to use the sun to orient myself, but I swear the game makers are shifting that thing around in the sky just to confuse me further. Trapped in a dense maze of holly, I start panicking, and I plow down paths recklessly without any real plan, but with a rising sense of claustrophobia. Forget the northern wall. I just need to get out of this place. Perspiration pours down my face and I'm dying of thirst, but I certainly don't think I deserve a drink, given how easily I've been duped into this predicament. If the game makers decided to unleash a mutt on me now, well, why wouldn't they? I won't stand a chance of escaping. This is not how I want Ma and Sid and Lenore Dove to see me die. So very foolishly. This goes on for hours, with me driven by fear of taking my last breath in this spiky holiday hallucination, desperate for any change of scenery. Finally, exhausted and frazzled, I sink down onto my knees and try to collect my thoughts. The hedge has muffled the forest sounds, so just the faintest notes of birdsong reach my ear. A breeze is much too much to hope for, but if I sit very still, I can catch a slight movement of air. I weigh my options. Do I give up, continue to bumble around, or try to hack my way through the hedge with this axe? The last seems to have the most potential, but there's something almost sinister about the hedge that stays my hand. With it towering above me at least several thick feet, I'm diminished by its size, frightened by what it might harbor. Resigned to my fate, I rise to my feet and reach for my axe. As I do, a movement ahead of me catches my attention, and I look up to see a gray rabbit watching me. I don't know if it's really the same one that I shared the apple with, but the thought of it comforts me. "Hey, my friend," I say. "How are you doing?" After a few ear twitches, it turns and darts away from me. Without thinking, I follow, and maybe I can get it to use its nose to get us out. I stay on its trail, tracking the white cottontail at every turn, and after a minute or two, I see the forest at the end of a stretch. Actually, that was just the ice maker, not my husband. It just like turned on its own. He's not awake. He's still in there, but it did make a noise like he was opening the fridge, didn't it? I give a whoop and I sprint for the trees. The rabbit shoots out the opening and I'm a few yards behind it. As I barrel out of the hedge, a sword blade whistles by my head, just catching the tip of my ear, and I cry out backward over a dead brick. I trip. You okay? You okay? You're smiling. You're laughing. You think that's silly? Ha ha. She's learned that if she fake coughs, she'll get attention, but I can't risk it, because what if one day it's a real cough, obviously. But she goes, ha ha, ha ha. Right? Ha ha. You think that's so silly? Yeah? You think that's silly? Ha ha. Oh yeah, no, it was just the fridge was running. Ha ha ha. Are you so silly? Are you so silly? Yeah. As I barrel out of the hedge, we already said that. I cry out and I trip backward over a dead branch. After days of isolation broken only by allies, yeah, ha ha, I have all but forgotten about the threat of the careers, and now they've caught me completely off guard. Nothing that happens in the next minutes is premeditated, it's only reflexive. As a girl from District 4 lunges with her trident pointed at my neck, I clumsily deflect it with my left arm and whip out my knife just in time to drive it into her gut. Rolling to the side, I encounter a leg and hamstring it, leaving her district partner writhing on the ground. Scrambling to my feet, I pull out the axe and cleave open his neck with a single adrenaline-fueled blow, and then I turn to take on the owner of the sword. It's Panesh. For a moment, we face off, me, my knife, against... You screaming because Panesh showed up? Yeah. Hi. Okay. Do you want this one instead? Yeah, you like that one? Go ahead, grab it. Take it. You have to take it. Yeah, you know how to do it. For a moment we face off, me, my knife, and the axe, against him, his sword, and his shield. With a terrible groan from the wounded girl accompanying us, we circle each other slowly. I take in the burns along his arms and legs, his cracked lips, and the mad dog look in his eyes. A sense of dread fills me. He's much bigger. He's better armed and crazed with pain. My eyes flick to the nearby woods, seeking an escape route. Uh-huh, says Panesh. With a single swoop, he knocks the axe from my hand, his blade drawing blood, and then he slams the shield into my chest so hard that I lose my grip on my knife. Gasping for breath, I back away, hand lifted, with only my words to defend me. I start talking fast. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Panesh, think about this. This looks bad. Killing an unarmed man, especially me, being from 12 and all. I mean, I got a 1 in training. Seems cowardly on your part. Think about it. You don't want to do something stupid. I'm not making the world's strongest argument, but the word gives him pause. I guess I have Caesar to thank for that, but I jabber on, saying anything, trying to buy myself time. Listen, I know you're not a meathead. That chariot idea was brilliant. Sorry I swiped it. But you need to play this smart. Am I right? I mean, else it could affect your sponsor gifts. How you making out with those anyway? I mean, me, I've been doing pretty well. It turns out some people really do love a loser, but you know, everybody knows that you're gonna win. You always win, so come on, at least slide my knife over here so that we can give people a show. Panesh gives his head a shake like he's clearing my words from his brain. No, we already fought. You lost. Now you die. And he draws back his sword, eyes locked. Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. The thing is, if you put your hand on this little holder, you can hold on to it better. Here you go. The thing is, if you put your hand on this little holder, you can hold on to it better. Here. Sorry, I got a spam call. Are we back now? I think we're back. He draws back his sword, eyes locked on my throat, and I brace myself for the blow, trying to look brave and defiant and proud, staring him down so hard that he has to admit that even if he kills me, he hasn't defeated me. And in that last moment, I need to see recognition of that. What I see instead is the surprise that transforms his face as a dart pierces his throat. Ooh. Someone got panache. I don't know who. The next chapter is a half an hour long, so we won't have time for that, but she is in a grumbly mood anyway. So, here is my plan. Tomorrow afternoon, my aunt is coming to hang out with the baby specifically from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. so I can make base slime for Friday's Roll for Slime. So I'm gonna try to go live to do it. Obviously, if anything goes awry and she doesn't want to sit with my, yeah, we can do the next chapter tomorrow for sure. What page are we on? That's a great question. Don't be sorry, Nicey. You know I'm happy to answer those questions. You never have to be sorry. Can you hold on to this for me, darling? Thank you. We are on page 277, chapter 20. So my goal for tomorrow is to go live sometime between 1 and 3, and I have thick and glossy made, but I need to make clear, I need to make putty, and I need to make regular butter base because we have a lot of Roll for Slimes on Friday. It's like a big Roll for Slime. We're doing, I think, like 10 people or something for birthdays because we're doing all the July birthdays in one go. So if you're bored and around tomorrow afternoon, if you're not, it'll be recorded anyway, of course, but if you are, sorry, I'm just stretching, I'm not trying to be weird. If you are around tomorrow and you want to hang out, we will do that. And the reason I'm doing it tomorrow instead, oh my gosh, seven tomorrow, big birthday. 7 is, yeah, this is a good age. What was I gonna say? Thursday I can't do it because they're dilating my eyes and I'm afraid I won't be able to see the, what are you doing on Friday, Liz? I won't be able to see the comments, so I'm not gonna go live on Thursday after my appointment because, you know, I'll have to wear those, the glasses, right? I think the like dark glasses, don't you? And I'm just afraid I won't be able to see the screen properly. So. These bangs take a little getting used to. Going to my friends like that sounds amazing, Liz. Can I come? I'll do Roll for Slime and we'll all go to the lake. How about that? How about that, my sweet angel? What do you think? I'm walking my graduation from Masters on Saturday, but going to Seattle on Thursday. That's amazing! Congratulations! Congrats! That's so wonderful. Oh my gosh, what a moment. Good. Hi. Hello to my angel who did not nap. Hello. Hey Victoria, how are you? So anyway, a lot more grab bags are going out today. Liz, yours went out yesterday. I know I messaged you about it last week, but I was waiting for something special for yours. So, you know, anyone like Ray who is getting a birthday Roll for Slime this week,
your stuff will go with that, obviously. So I may be in and out, pretty excited. Like 10 people are showing up. That's amazing. Will you send pictures, please, Jen? Congratulations. That's freaking wonderful. It's a very big accomplishment, and I am proud for you as your friend. Proud because, you know, I didn't finish mine, so anyone who finishes it gets my praise. Oh my God, I can't. I feel like I look weird. I don't know what I'm doing here. Anyway, I didn't finish my master's, so anyone who does has my accolades, because it's hard. It's hard. Part of why I didn't finish it was money, but that was my fault for choosing a place that was too expensive. I saw a poll recently that said if you could go back and do one thing from your like early 20s differently, what would it be? And I said not going to an expensive grad school was my answer, because I went to a state school for undergrad, so I have no debt from my undergrad, but grad school was it's expensive. I could have a down payment for a house, you know? Anyway, I am going to, right after this, you got your work to pay for it, yeah. I think we've talked about my boss before, but you guys know my boss. She's a stickler, and she's not willing to pay for anything. She did not offer me that as an option. I know. See, that's how I feel about my boss sometimes. She's just a little bit of a stickler when it comes to money, you know? I don't know. She doesn't really... Oh. You want out? You want out? Out? Can you say up? Up? Oh, happy girl. What else was I going to tell you guys? I had something I was going to tell you, and now I can't remember. Talk to HR about it then, yeah. The tax incentive, so they went, yeah, no, I don't get a tax incentive for, oh, that's what I was going to tell you. I have the rest of that cloud slime video going up today. So I'll just voice over that right after this if she lets me, and then it'll go up. So have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go to that book exchange thing this afternoon, so I'll let you know how it goes and if the book lady's name is Lauren or not. Bye, guys.